in the book of Jeremiah, it is written, Thus says Yahweh, stand in the ways and see, and ask for the old path, where the good way is, and walk in it, and find rest for yourselves. But they said, we will not walk in it. Yirmiyahu, the 6th chapter, the 16th verse. It is time to heal the breach, my brothers and sisters. Let's go into it next on this episode of the Sound Doctrine Ministries Spiritual Common Sense. Blessings to the remnant of the saints of the Most High. In the 6th chapter of the book of Jeremiah, Yirmiyahu, we read of a breach that Yasharel committed, the breach of the covenant with the Father. And it is written, violence and destruction are heard in her. Before me continually are suffering and smiting. Be instructed, O Jerusalem, lest my being be torn from you, lest I make you a waste, a land not inhabited. Thus said Yahuwah of hosts, let them thoroughly glean as a vine the remnant of Yasharel. Pass your hand again over the branches like a grape gatherer. To whom shall I speak and give warning so that they will hear? See, their ear is uncircumcised, and they are unable to listen. See, the word of Yahuwah is a reproach to them. They do not delight in it. Therefore, I am filled with the wrath of Yahuwah. I have become weary of containing it. Pour it out on the children outside and on the company of the young men together. For even the husband and wife shall be taken, the aged and the very old. And their houses shall be turned over to others, fields and wives together. For I shall stretch out my hand against the inhabitants of the land, declares Yahuwah. From the least of them even to the greatest of them, they are all greedy for gain. And from the prophet even to the priest, all act falsely. And they healed the breach of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. Were they ashamed when they had done abominations? No, they were not at all ashamed, nor did they know how to blush. Therefore, they shall fall among those who fall. They shall stumble at the time I visit them, said Yahuwah. Thus says Yahuwah, stand in the way and see, and ask for the old path, where the good way is, and walk in it, and find rest for yourselves. But they said, but Yasharel said, we will not walk in them. And I raised up watchmen over you and said, listen to the sound of the ram's horn. But they said, Yasharel, we do not listen. Therefore hear, you nations, and know, O congregation, what is upon them. Hear, O earth. See, I am bringing evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not listened to my words, nor my Torah, and they rejected it. What need have I of frankincense from Sheba, and sweet cane from a distant land? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable, and your slaughterings have not been sweet to me. Therefore, thus says Yahuwah, see, I am laying a stumbling block before this people, and the fathers and the sons together shall stumble on them. The neighbor and his friend shall perish. Thus says Yahuwah, see, a people shall come from the land of the north, and a great nation is stirred up from the furthest parts of the earth. They seize bow and spear. They are cruel and have no compassion. Their voice roars like the sea. And they ride on horses, set in array as a man for battle against you, O daughter of Zion. Sounds familiar? Sound like the curse that we were warned about in Deuteronomy 28 is now being set into motion. Yasharel, it is time to heal the breach that we broke with the Most High. The game stops here and now. Pride and vanity has no place with us. Shame and humility should be our clothing. When we were told to stand proud, we took it too far and stood against the very one that had us standing. No longer are we going to take verse and passages out of context to persuade others to follow us. That is the pathway that our fathers took, and it has brought us to this point. Yes, we have discovered the truth. We know his name. We know our background and where we come from. But what does that mean? No, we are not white. No, we are not savages and uneducated. Our captors took our history and made it theirs for many reasons, the main of which is to keep us under bondage to them, where we will not be in the will of our Father, following their commands and customs instead of his. There is no need to go out to the nations calling yourselves trying to wake them up to be saved. The nations were blessed because of Yasharel. It is Yasharel that needs to walk in the ways of Yahuwah and the Mashiach. Until then, the world is cursed and Hashatan rules. Our sisters are seeking and dying and crying, waiting on us to take our rightful place. But we are failing them miserably, for we are not caring about anything but us and how we look and how we are perceived. Your tassels and your zitseeds mean less than nothing, and you are not caring about those who are right beside you. Stop using our sisters for your own selfishness. Our sisters are our helpers, and they have no problem following us if we wholeheartedly follow Yah. The pimp game that you are playing is not going to do anything but secure the destruction of our people. Where is your heart? In looking and pretending that you are more than you are? You are the breaker of the covenant that has the world in the state that it is in today. All that looking like Yasharel means less than nothing when the Father is revealing to our sisters that you are walking in pride and in error. And yes, they see it. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They are childbearing, and many are now walking in humility. And you are taking advantage of them, which is showing others, including our sons, the wrong path that is leading us all to the ditch. Let us study to the delight of the word of the Father, that our wives, sisters, sons, and daughters may follow the old paths where there is good in the way. Our lives should be lived so that our concern is for our children and those coming after us. We all know the story of Daniel, how Hashatan hindered not his prayer to the Father, but the answer from the Father. Do you know what he was praying for? He was praying for us to know the plight of his people that were going to be living in the last days. That is love, my brothers and sisters. But too many of us do not care about those that are here helping us right now today. This is not of the Father, but of the world. Self-centeredness. And it is our sisters that always has our back. because we are so full of ourselves that any brother that is trying to walk in love, we come against them. This is only going to have more blood on our hands come the day of judgment. And I will not stand by and watch us be destroyed from within. I will cry loud and spare not. I will lift up my voice like a trumpet and show the people their transgressions and show the house of Yasharel their sins. Either walk in the truth and love, or do not claim to be part of Yasharel, because you are a stumbling block for your people and your children, and it can no longer be tolerated. Blessings and peace to your home.